Pep Guardiola cancels Manchester City training in major Champions League call. Pep Guardiola has pulled a Champions League surprise by cancelling a routine training session the day before they play Liverpool. Pep Guardiola has taken the unprecedented step of cancelling training the day before Manchester City play in the Champions League. The Blues were expected to train on Thursday afternoon as part of their preparations for their match against Liverpool. Manchester City star Rodri was not in the matchday squad to take on Liverpool, as Pep Guardiola named a 22-man selection. Rodri dropped out of the Manchester City squad for another match, as Pep Guardiola named 22 players to take on Liverpool. The midfielder was not present as the Blues arrived for their Champions League game on Sunday night, to mean he has now missed 4 of the last 6 games for City since picking up a hamstring injury at Brentford in early October. He returned to the squad on Sunday and was an unused substitute against Dortmund, but is now out again. Guardiola confirmed before the game that Rodri doesn't feel perfect, and so it was decided not to take the risk. The City boss indicated that he would not be out for a while, but needs more time to feel good again. Pep Guardiola sends clear Phil Foden message ahead of squad decision. Phil Foden was in fine form for Manchester City as he scored twice in the 4-1 win over Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. Pep Guardiola has told Phil Foden to continue pushing himself to improve so that he is ready to take his chance with England if the call comes from Thomas Tuchel. Foden scored 2 stunning goals for Manchester City as they eased to a 4-1 win against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League on Wednesday, issuing a timely reminder to Tuchel ahead of Friday's announcement of his latest England squad. The City Academy graduate was one of several big names left out of the October squad as Tuchel opted for familiarity from an impressive camp in September, but with the World Cup beginning to loom into view, he will be desperate to get back in the group. Guardiola insists the whole world knows the quality Foden can deliver and backed the 25-year-old to make an impact if he is handed a recall by Tuchel, who faces the difficulty of trying to build a cohesive team from a wide group of players and in a short period of time. Thomas is so smart and wise, he knows what the team needs. I think Thomas knows Phil perfectly. Phil, what to do is play better and better, said Guardiola. The national team is different from a club team. It's a short time together. It's creating a team when you not a team, not together every day. There is no person in this country or around the world who doesn't know his quality and ability, but England is so lucky to have a mountain of good players, and that is why Phil has to push himself to be better and better. Because when he's going to be called, he has to say, okay, I am going to show how good I am. Foden's double against Dortmund were his first goals since September 24th, but he has been in excellent form this season and Guardiola is sure he is back to his best, having struggled on and off the pitch last term. This season he's back, the City boss said. Not just Phil, all of us we struggle, me first, but it happened. When Phil is at that level, playing between the lines, in the pockets, his first touch, his turn, and after his generosity, running and fighting. Phil is happy and in love, enjoying it. You don't have to say much, he's a special player, but we need his goals and hopefully today is the first step to do it. It's important to have him back. 2 seasons ago when we won the 4th Premier League in a row, he was the best player in the Premier League. He's a top-class player. We miss him a lot, especially when he's happy. And now you feel he's back, and after that, he can do whatever he wants. Hello and welcome to our live coverage of Manchester City's Champions League clash with Borussia Dortmund. Both teams are unbeaten in the league phase with 7 points from 3 games, and a win for either would mark a significant step towards securing a top 8 spot and a straight passage into the knockout rounds. Pep Guardiola's side were impressive in beating Bournemouth 3-1 on Sunday to move up to second in the Premier League table, 6 points behind leaders Arsenal. The Blues are without the injured Mateo Kovacic, while Rodri is also not fit to feature. We will bring you all the build-up, action, analysis and reaction right here with our live blog below. City are going to bring on Cherki and Bernardo in the next few minutes, around 15 to play, and City will want to snuff out any ambitions Dortmund have of forcing a Feyenoord-style comeback. Dortmund have been the brighter side since City scored their 3rd, and their attack and character meant they deserved that goal. Guardiola disappointed with the defending as the visitors scored from a quick free kick, which was fizzed across the box where Anton converted with aplomb. Hello and welcome to our live coverage of Manchester City's Champions League clash with Borussia Dortmund. Both teams are unbeaten in the league phase with 7 points from 3 games, and a win for either would mark a significant step towards securing a top 8 spot and a straight passage into the knockout rounds. Pep Guardiola's side were impressive in beating Bournemouth 3-1 on Sunday to move up to second in the Premier League table, 6 points behind leaders Arsenal. The Blues are without the injured Mateo Kovacic, while Rodri is also not fit to feature. We will bring you all the build-up, action, analysis and reaction right here with our live blog below. Well, Donnarumma has made a save now. Good work from Adeyemi down the right, who darts into the box and gets a shot away. The City keeper gets a strong hand to it and pushes the ball away. We had a break in play for an injury there to a Dortmund player, but as the action restarted, Haaland latched onto a through ball from Foden. He was forced wide, but clipped a cross over which almost fell to O'Reilly at the back post. City very much on top. Not sure Donnarumma has had a save to make as yet. Reinders bends an effort towards the far corner, and Kobel does well to parry that away from danger. Savinho again the creator. He looks a real threat tonight down the right, even if his end product is not always perfect. That's a goal in every Champions League game this season, and 27 for club and country already. We're only just into November. Just as they did for the first goal, City kept the ball alive after an initial attack didn't yield a chance. City now in charge, and they could add further goals before the break. Erling Haaland proved Pep Guardiola right with what he did on his Manchester City day off. Erling Haaland spoke to the media ahead of facing his former club Borussia Dortmund with Manchester City tonight. Erling Haaland walked into Manchester City's press auditorium on his day off and greeted the faces in front of him with a booming "Hi guys," quickly followed by a welcome for his visitors. Guten Tag, if there's any Germans here. Surprisingly, there was not. Borussia Dortmund held their own press conference later on Tuesday evening at the Etihad. But with all due respect to Pascal Gross, the travelling press pack were probably kicking themselves for missing out on an audience with Haaland. When the Champions League draw was made, Haaland put a circle around this fixture as the day he would do his media obligations. The 25-year-old doesn't speak to the written press very often at City and regularly shuns the opportunity to talk in the mixed zone after a match. But UEFA requirements mean a player must always talk alongside the manager the day before a European fixture. So Haaland was presented with the possibility of speaking here, or on his likely return to Norway in January to face Bodo/Glimt. He decided to keep the commitment, even when he was then asked to speak to Sky Sports later this week to preview Sunday's blockbuster clash with Liverpool. City penciled in John Stones to replace him for the Dortmund press conference, but Haaland stayed true to his word. He might have regretted his decision when Guardiola gave the rest of his squad the day off on Tuesday, an unusual move the day before a match. While Haaland's teammates had their feet up, the Norwegian was making the journey to the City Football Academy and back, taking a significant chunk out of his day. He will return on Wednesday morning for a light training session ahead of the game. If he felt aggrieved at having to interrupt his day off, he didn't show it. That friendly greeting suggested he would be on good form, and he was as interesting as ever. He has an ability to hold a room, and even if he doesn't give away as much as you might hope for, he is always engaging, and was so again during his 15 minutes at the top table. For once, Guardiola had been the warm-up act, and a lot of his press conference focused on Haaland. There was a glowing testimony as to why he has been added to the leadership group this season, and praise from Guardiola for Haaland's humbleness. Within a minute of sitting down, Haaland was straining to keep that character assessment on track. Asked if he thought he could break his record this season, he asked back, "I need to ask you which record?" Not to sound arrogant, but which one? He's got a point. Haaland already holds numerous records at the Etihad and in the Premier League. This time the question was whether he could better his tally from his first season at the club. "I had 57 in total with the national team, so I'm in a good way," he said. Only it appeared he was incorrect. He got 56 from the start of June to the end of City's treble-winning season. It was fascinating that Haaland got this number wrong, but at the end of his press conference, he could quickly recall the number of times he had been flagged offside in 107 Premier League games, correctly calling it at 18. The stat had done the rounds on social media the day before, so perhaps he had seen it. but the way he spoke about how he hated being offside and the work he put in to avoid it, you wouldn't be surprised if it was a record he was just as proud of. Between getting a number wrong and getting a number right, there was plenty of the modesty that his teammates and coaches have come to expect. He was bashful when asked about breaking Alan Shearer's Premier League goal-scoring record, and literally waved away the idea that he is in the same class as Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. He will see plenty of familiar faces tonight, both among teammates and staff who still work at Dortmund. He left Germany's industrial heartland at 21, but asked how he had changed since then. With fatherhood and leadership now on his resume, he insisted he hadn't changed at all. Same Erling, but with more experience, he said. That was a pretty good way of summing it up. Hello and welcome to our live coverage of Manchester City's press conference ahead of the Champions League tie with Borussia Dortmund. Both teams have made strong starts in Europe, with the pair locked together on 7 points from 3 games ahead of Wednesday night's clash at the Etihad. Blues boss Pep Guardiola was joined by star striker and former Dortmund man Erling Haaland to speak to the media. The City chief explained his decision to cancel training on Tuesday and afford his players a day off, while Haaland spoke about his flying start to the season and facing his former club. Erling